6 at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 24th.
Happy Monday. Oh, sorry. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
It's your Monday.
My Monday.
Your Monday.
And,
yes.
you know, something we haven't seen in a while, the rain. So a lot of people are happy about that.
And I tell you what, just since the early morning newscast, some of this rain is really coming down in areas.
It is. It's coming down in buckets and spots. It's just not necessarily here in San Antonio. We picked up about 1/4 of an inch so far at the airport. So it's a good number. We'd like to see a little bit more. And I do think we're going to see some more here for the next hour or so. We've got kind of a broken line coming in from the west. Heavier line now developing. Floresville up to Gonzales, just east of Seguin. And this is where we've seen the really heavy rainfall totals this morning, up close to an inch in some spots. And forgive me, I'm going to walk off the screen here and go mess with the radar a little bit. But I want to show you somewhere, some places where we have seen the heavier rain. And that, again, is just east of San Antonio, around the Seguin area, although that rain has moved out, Stockdale over to Gonzales. And then as far as San Antonio is concerned, again, we have that broken line kind of coming in from the west. So up on the northwest side, we've seen some pockets of heavier rain. Leon Springs, down along 1604 on the west side. And I can pause it here, and we can look at some of the rainfall estimates. And where you see some of those darker green colors, estimating over an inch perhaps on the northwest side. But the airport, again, about 1/4 of an inch or so. Around Seguin, close to 3/4 of an inch, maybe up to an inch in spots. And there on the northwest side, about 6/10 of an inch. Those are just estimates. We'll get the actual totals in here in a little while. But at least there is rain coming down. It's been pretty widespread this morning. And as we go outside for you, there's the scenes. Rain around the airport, still some wet roads, as Stephen will tell you here in just a second. 50 degrees at the airport, northwesterly winds at about 9 miles per hour. Those winds, by the way, are going to pick up big time later today. So this rain moves through, and then you get the gusty winds this afternoon. We can see some gusts up around 35. So by noontime, 57, rain chances are really starting to taper off at this point. So I'd give it another couple of hours, then the rain will be pretty much gone, and then the sky's clear. 62 for a high, but northwesterly winds around 20 miles per hour, gusting to 35. There is also the threat for a couple of strong storms east of town here over the next couple of hours. We're going to keep tabs on that as well. So far, we've not had any warnings or anything like that. It's been mostly just rain, but we'll keep an eye on it throughout the show. We want to go over to Stephen now and check in on the roadways. I know it's been a busy morning for you.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Justin. I know we needed the rain, but I'm just so over it at this point. We've been seeing a lot of issues out there, and, you know, that really does seem to still be this case right now. And 281 at Divine, I know drivers are over it as well. Let's get a quick look here at those wet roads and those flashing lights as you can see them out there. This is along the southbound lane. So we were on that streamcast earlier with Justin and Mike Osterhage. We were talking a little bit about some of the issues that we were seeing out on the roadways, and of course, but also the great rain. So there is some silver lining there, but it does look like this crash just cleared out. I mentioned this earlier. This is again along the southbound lanes right at Olmos Drive, just a little bit before Hildebrand. So this would have been the second crash, or this is the second crash that was reported in that same area. We mentioned it earlier during the early editions of GMSA to slow down before you get to that curve there. It's very wet out there, and that's really the case that we're seeing it along all these TransGuide cameras, just wet roads. But I do want to take a big jump up here. Now, this is probably going to be a big problem along I-10 westbound at Bernie Stage. You see a little bit of a buildup out there, red, yellow, orange, just colors I really don't like to see on the map this late in the day, but that's actually a crash that was reported by TxDOT. Now, I need to get our friends at TransGuide on the phone to find out exactly if we can get a shot of the conditions out there, but you bet those roads have been wet all morning long since 4:30, guys. We've had a lot of issues that were reported, and it does look now we are finally seeing some relief, but we're not out of the woods just yet. As I mentioned, we still have these two crashes, at least one that remains, because things do look a lot better here along 281 at Divine Road. But let's go ahead and get you on rotation before we jump over to Mark and stuff, because you can see the traffic still moving along at 410 at Jackson Keller, but a lot of these TransGuide cameras have wet lenses, but they are picking up a lot of wet roads as well. So we're going to monitor the situation throughout the show, and hopefully things will be a lot better by the end of this newscast, guys.
Stephen, thank you.
And let's look at today's 9 at 9.
Testimony continues today in the murder trial of Air Force Major Andre McDonald. He's accused of killing his wife, Andreen McDonald, in 2019. Andreen's sister, Cindy Johnson, testified on Monday that the murder defendant called her 3 days ago because he wanted her and her mother to, quote, know the truth before the trial began, allegedly confessing to killing his wife. If found guilty, McDonald faces up to life in prison.
San Antonio Councilman Clayton Perry is set to face a judge later today. It's the first time since police say he drove drunk and fled a head-on crash last November. San Antonio police accused Perry of downing 14 drinks in 4 hours before the crash happened. So far, Perry hasn't said if he would run again to represent District 10.
A young passenger appears to be the only survivor of a deadly wreck that killed 7 people this past week in Comal County. The Department of Public Safety says a truck veered into oncoming traffic and hit an SUV. It happened near the Buffalo Springs crossing Sunday night near New Braunfels. The identities of those killed have not been released.
Over in California, a third mass shooting since Saturday. A gunman is now in custody, accused of killing 7 people at 2 places in the San Francisco area. It happened at 2 landscaping nurseries in the city of Half Moon Bay. Meanwhile, Monterey Park is canceling Lunar New Year events, holding vigils instead for the 11 people killed there this weekend.
In Iowa, Des Moines police have charged an 18-year-old for a Monday shooting that killed 2 students. The founder of a nonprofit organization focused on helping at-risk youth was also injured. The alleged shooter is charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and gang participation. Police say he cut off a GPS ankle monitor 16 minutes before that shooting.
The violent start to 2023 has lawmakers in Washington calling for action. President Biden issued a statement Monday calling on Congress to pass an assault weapons and high-capacity magazine ban and enact legislation that raises the minimum purchasing age to 21 years old.
The family of a Bowling Green State University student who died after a fraternity hazing incident has reached a nearly $3 million settlement with the school. 20-year-old Stone Fultz died in March of 2021 after an initiation off campus. His family says they plan to use the settlement money to support their new anti-hazing foundation.
The Supreme Court will not rule on 3 cases of political censorship on social media. The focus is on whether courts can force private companies to host free speech they'd rather remove. The cases may not be heard until the next term, which would push the outcome closer to the 2024 election. For now, social media companies are allowed to create their own terms of service and allow content as they see fit.
And finally, nobody won the Powerball lottery jackpot last night. The estimated pot was $502 million. Now it's up to $526 million. But with a cash value of $284 million, it could still be pretty life-changing. Just don't count on hitting all those numbers. You're 19,000 times more likely to get struck by lightning. The next drawing is tomorrow night, and that's today's 9 at 9.
80 morning headlines. Ticketmaster on the hot seat on Capitol Hill after that huge meltdown back in November.
And a 9-year-old makes a unique discovery on the beach. David Sears joins us now. Good morning, David.
Yeah, we saw the discovery last week, but now we get to hear from the 9-year-old on that discovery and what she got for Christmas that helped her make the discovery.
All right.
We'll get to that in just a second. But first, the head of Ticketmaster beginning some serious questions fired at him today, and it won't be from upset customers. Questions will be coming from members of Congress during a hearing. Members of the House Judiciary Committee want to find out if Ticketmaster has too much control over that industry. They do control about 70%. They also want an explanation as to what in the world happened when all that went south during the online sale of those Taylor Swift concert tickets at the end of last year. The head of Ticketmaster will claim the ticket turmoil was caused by a cyber attack, and that played a part in the debacle. That's according to Politico. He's also going to be claiming that Ticketmaster was hit with 3 times the amount of bot traffic than normal. That still may not satisfy too many customers, though.
I waited in line for like 6 hours.
The monopoly issues have been going on for years and years and years and years. Pearl Jam took them before Congress, and Pearl Jam tried to do a tour without Ticketmaster, couldn't, gave up.
The head of SeatGeek also expected to testify today. He's the head of one of Ticketmaster's closest competitors. All right, put on your thinking caps. Remember last week we told you about a huge discovery. A young lady in Maryland found a megalodon shark tooth dating back 15 million years. We finally get to hear from the young lady who found that tooth. This is 9-year-old Molly Sampson. She loves hunting for artifacts like that, usually finds small ones. So for Christmas, she asked for waders. She went hunting one day, and lo and behold, the discovery of a lifetime.
We were looking around, and I just looked over in the water, and I looked down, I saw like something big. It was like that far away from me, probably. And I went closer to it, and I just like saw it, and I tried to scoop it up with the scooper, but I couldn't because it was so big. And then I just reached in really quick and grabbed it, and I was like screeching.
Right, so based on where she found it along Calvert Cliff, we estimate, we don't know exactly, because we don't know exactly which layer it came from, and we can't date the tooth itself, but we estimate that it's about 15 million years old, based on where she found it.
Whoa, that's old. She's going to have to get a new scooper, bigger scooper for Christmas next year. You got the waiters this year, get a bigger scooper next year. She's going to be finding stuff like that.
She's all ready to go.
And she might want to use it because she wants to be a paleontologist when she grows up. She's off to a pretty sharp start. All right, you might think 4 is a little young to be the member of an exclusive club unless you're a brainchild. Meet Teddy. He is now the youngest member of Mensa. That is an organization for smart people, those who score exceptionally high on intelligent tests. Teddy Hobbs actually got into the club when he was 3. His parents tell us Teddy could count to 100 when he was just 2. He started to read about the same time, learned that from watching children's TV shows and copying the sounds of letters. These days, he has learned to count to 106 different languages. All right, social media side of Why Not Michigan Police Department is blowing up with pleas for leading chief for one of their own. That guy right there, an 11-year vet of the K-9 department. He's facing some serious accusations from a fellow officer in the department. The officer was on his lunch break enjoying a salami and cheese sandwich when he was called away to take care of some business. When he got back, his sandwich was gone. Oh, the German Shepherd has had a finger pointed at him, but he's keeping pretty tight-jawed about it. But his record for assisting with drug busts might just keep him off.
And that dog has the right to remain silent and retain counsel as needed. Yes.
So, you know.
We'll give him a pass for all the hard work.
Absolutely.
So. You know, so the lesson here, don't leave your sandwich sitting on the table unattended.
That's true.
Because, you know.
Point taken.
There you go.
Thank you, David.
All right.
9:10, 50 degrees.
And here's Max Massey with what's coming up next on GMSA at 9.
Good morning, I'm Max Massey. We are here at San Antonio International Airport. If you've been here, you know what it looks like, but in the coming years, a multi-billion-dollar expansion is on the way. It's going to look a lot different. We're going to be talking to the director of airports and give you an inside look.
9:13, more than 10 million passengers, an average of 25,000 a day, fly in and out of San Antonio International Airport each year.
In the next 20 years, that number could double to 18 million passengers per year.
Because of that, there's a $2.5 billion project in the works, a very big deal for our city. Max Massey joined us live from the airport. And Max, you tell us the big plans are not just at this airport.
That's right. We're going to talk about Stinson in just a second. But I got to tell you guys, if you've been to other cities like New York or Philadelphia, you learn to appreciate how efficient and how nice everyone is here at San Antonio Airport. And speaking of the airport, joined here with the director of airports. So we were just talking about Stinson. You know, what is going on over there? Big, exciting news.
Yes, so we're completing, you know, the strategic development plan as we did here for San Antonio International. We're in the precipice of making all that happen at Stinson as well. You know, over 100 years old, we're doing a 10-year master plan. We just reached out to the community to begin to get their feedback on what they would like to see at Stinson. We know we have a lot of growth happening in that south side area, so we want to be a part of that as well. We're reaching out to the community about the new master plan for Stinson Municipal.
And it's really cool, guys. Members of our community can actually go on there and choose what they want Stinson to look like in this 10-year master plan. And speaking of master plans, big plans here at San Antonio International Airport, $2.5 billion project. What should people expect?
Yeah, change is what we would tell them. You know, growth and more opportunity here at San Antonio International. We're excited about the advanced terminal planning that we're completing, and you know we'll be coming out here shortly in the middle of February to show everyone what conceptually that can begin to look like. But we're still in the planning efforts of that, working hard with the airlines and continuing to grow here. But you know it will be change, and we want to be the airport of the future with a lot of new technology and innovation, along with improving even more the overall passenger flow and the passenger experience as they come in here into San Antonio International.
And guys, the airport obviously instrumental for our local economy, businesses, workers, so much going on. So what does it mean for local businesses?
Well, it means an opportunity to expand and grow. We look at, the opportunity that exists just in the San Antonio region and the growth that's, happening here. So from our standpoint, we've got to prepare the airport. We go back to 2018. We completed the economic impact study that was performed here. San Antonio International is a $5.2 billion economic impact to the city, and we want to continue to grow that. So it means more population, more households, more jobs. That growth continues and creates more economic impact for the city of San Antonio.
All right, Jesus, thank you so much. More than $5 billion, guys. We're going to have much more on this project and the Stinson project coming up on the news at noon. Steph, Mark, back to you guys.
Thank you, Max. We look forward to that. And let's look out there with live cam, kind of the story of this morning, I would believe.
Yeah, flights are going on, as scheduled today. Not seeing delays in and out of San Antonio International Airport, but visibility definitely tough for pilots today.
A little bit. And there's going to be some heavier downpours, I think, coming in towards the airport here within the next few hours. Great to see rain on the radar, though. That's the exciting part, is that this is mostly just good rain. Although we're starting to see a few flooding issues, and I want to take you to the east of San Antonio where you have flood advisories. Not flash flood warnings, but flood advisories for places just east of Bexar County. So Lavernia, up towards the Seguin area, and then as you move north, just east of San Marcos and at New Braunfels, that's where we do have a flood advisory. That's going to go until 11:45 this morning. And we've seen some spots where we may have up to an inch or an inch and a half, and that may cause some minor street flooding with some of these heavier cells. Let's look at some of these stronger cells that we have, and I'll take the warnings off real quick. As we look across the city of San Antonio, this is kind of the back edge of things starting to move in, but it's going to take some time before this passes by the city. So we're going to start to see some heavier downpours here over the next hour, and already starting to see that here now around downtown. Pocket of heavy rain there around Kennedy High School, now working right into the downtown area, just along I-10 there on the south side. And then as we look out west, SeaWorld, you're getting some very heavy rain right now. Stevens High School stretching up to just east of Taft High School along 1604, and then up towards Brandeis as well. We're not detecting really a lot of lightning strikes for this, so it's not technically electrical, but it is going to put down some of that blinding rain. And we're also seeing that on the north side. If you're around Stone Oak, seeing a very nice cell here with some good rain. And if you're underneath one of these cells, you could pick up a good amount of rain in a short amount of time. So I'm going to pause it, and we can look at the rainfall rates, and these are always telling when it comes to just how heavy some of this rain is. And you look there around Chavano Park, looks like it's a little delayed, but this is showing 6 inches per hour. You're not going to get 6 inches of rain. It's not going to sit there for an hour, but even though they're moving fast, they are dumping quite a bit of rain, and hopefully we'll see some of these rainfall totals go up. As I mentioned, so far at the airport, we've only picked up about 1/4 of an inch of rain, and we can look at the estimated rainfall totals, and I'll zoom out some to kind of give you a big picture here. And you can see where the heavy swaths of rain have been east of town, and that's where we have that flood advisory. And then another area here, Bandera, Medina Lake, over to northwest San Antonio, where we've seen some bigger numbers. Here around the city itself, again, not huge numbers. This is estimating about 0.15 of an inch, but you get into where you see some of that green, closer to 3/4 of an inch, and maybe up close to an inch there around Seguin. So we'll be keeping a close eye on the radar this morning. There's a look at I-10 and Dominion as we look at some of the TransGuide photos, and still some heavy rain coming down. There's some ponding on some of the roads. There's the scene outside at the airport. Rain coming down there as well, 50 degrees. We've got northwesterly winds at about 9 and a lot of clouds, obviously. It'll take some time for these clouds to clear out, so it'll be mostly cloudy probably into the afternoon before we do get some clearing. 46 Kerrville, 50 San Antonio, 51 in New Braunfels, right around 50 here in Bexar County. In the KSAT 12-hour forecast, 55 at 11 o'clock, 57 noontime, maybe some sun this afternoon, but rain chances go away. 62 at 4 o'clock, 62 at 5 p.m., and then into the 50s tonight. As we look at the big picture here, snow on the north side of this system as this big area of low pressure comes through Texas. And here's a look at the futurecast. I mentioned 11 o'clock, things are starting to taper off, and then by noontime, rain's pretty much out of here, but it does move into our eastern counties, and that's where we could see some stronger storms by the afternoon. There's your clearing, but we start to run into some gusty winds, gusts up to 35 miles per hour possible later today. And we're also going to watch for the threat for a few strong storms. The risk is highest along the Texas coast, where we see that dark red color. but even our eastern counties, again, could see a couple strong storms as we get into the afternoon. We'll be keeping tabs on that as well. 60 Wednesday, 56 Thursday, 59 Friday. Another chance of showers kicks in on Saturday. And we'll see a frontal boundary come through on Sunday that eventually will cool us down as we get into early next week.
That's good. Thank you, Justin. Time now, 9:21 and 50 degrees for now.
Tiffany Huerta is standing by with live with a new art exhibit. Good morning.
Good morning. A local artist is celebrating African American women in this new exhibit. His inspiration behind these paintings next.
Just about 9:25 this morning, a local artist is shining light on the strength and power of African American women in a new exhibit.
Tiffany Huerta takes us to the Bill House Arts along Fredericksburg Road with a closer look at these paintings featured in the exhibit Essence and Style, the Afrocentric Woman. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Just check them out. These paintings are beautiful. The artist behind them says his inspiration came from women who played a major role in his life, like his mother, grandmother, and aunts. We have the artist with us this morning, Wardell Piquette. Good morning, and thank you for inviting us to your exhibit.
Good morning.
Tell us about the exhibit. What's it all about?
The exhibit is mostly about Black women and my appreciation and celebration of Black women. Honoring the experiences that I've had, the things that made me, who I am, what I am. And so I decided I wanted to do that in my artwork and sort of like bring everyone else into, the appreciation that I have.
And it's all about the detail. Walk with us and show us some of these pieces from the gold statements.
The gold that I have in the piece reflects the royalty, which is, in the exalted position that I see Black women in. And, the reflection of the light shows that inner spirit. Because if the way I have them with reflective paint, if you shine a light on them, it shines a lot of gold light back at you. And it shows that royalty, that aspect of strength and perseverance.
And the expression on their faces.
The expression, it's about strength. It's about strength and in some cases peace and in some cases happiness. But mostly showing that, we're here, we've always been here, we're not going anywhere, and we're part of everything else.
What does it mean to you to have this exhibit here for the community to see?
I'm honored that Bill House has given me a chance to have this exhibit here. And as we saw from the opening, the community really appreciated it. It's going to be here for a month. I hope everyone can get a chance to come and see it. I think there will be an inspiring and uplifting and profound experience for everyone that comes and sees. I've never seen a woman walk into see my artwork and not walk away from it without a big, huge smile on their face. So I was thinking certain things when I made it, but when I see those expressions, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I got it, I did it right.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to have more coming up on the noon show. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Right now, 9:27, 50 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Still to come at 9:30, the Spurs on the road taking on the Trailblazers in Portland. We're going to have the highlights coming up.
And important news as we get ready for American Heart Month in the month of February. Just ahead, we're chatting live with what you need to know about an upcoming event helping women learn about healthy hearts. 9:30, welcome back. We're taking a live look inside the courtroom, the murder trial of Andre McDonald, the Air Force major accused of killing his wife here back in 2019. And testimony continues as we speak.
And as you heard earlier in today's 9 at 9, Andrene's sister, Cindy Johnson, testified on Monday that the murder defendant called her 3 days ago because he wanted her and her mother to, quote, know the truth before the trial began, allegedly confessing to killing his wife. Now found guilty, Andre McDonald faces up to life in prison. Court reporter Erica Hernandez is following this trial and will be live streaming it from beginning to end on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and our KSAT YouTube channel.
Happening today, San Antonio City Councilman Clayton Perry will be facing a judge. It's the first time since police say he drove drunk and took off after a head-on crash 2.5 months ago. The District 10 councilman has pre-trial conferences via Zoom in both of the cases against him. At first, Perry was only facing a charge of failing to stop and give information, but in late December, he was booked for DWI as well. San Antonio police accused Perry of consuming 14 drinks in 4 hours' time at the Evil Olive Bar before the crash happened. The Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission is investigating allegations of over-serving at that establishment. Meanwhile, the business is allowed to stay open during the investigation. Councilman Perry returned from a leave of absence about a week and a half ago, saying he followed appropriate measures as recommended by medical experts.
And let's look out there with live cam. 50 degrees now. You know, it's time to dust off those rain jackets and put them to use this morning.
It is. Finally, it's been wet here around San Antonio. I do need to pass along, though, that we have a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued now as we go down towards the Cuero area. And what we'll do is we'll take a look at this warning. It's right there. It is for DeWitt County. And that does include the city of Cuero, and this is going to go until 10:30 this morning. It's for this line right here. And the reason the warning was issued, you see how it's kind of bowing out right there? That represents some very strong winds. We're likely seeing wind gusts up around 60 miles per hour, I would imagine, with this storm. So we'll put it into motion for you, and you can see right there, that's what we're concerned about. So let's zoom in a little bit closer. I'm going to go ahead and take the warning off for now. And we'll look at the city of Yorktown as well. You are in the path of this storm. I should mention that. A lot of lightning strikes associated with this, so it's rather electrical. But this line is just about to move into Yorktown. You're likely going to see those strong gusty winds now. You want to go ahead and take shelter now from this storm. And again, this warning is in effect until 10:30 this morning. This is also going to work its way towards the city of Cuero here within the next few minutes. We'll go ahead and put a track on it for you. And let's see here. Put it at about 20 miles per hour or so. And we'll put some of the times on here, Cuero, about 9:53. You can expect this line to move through with those gusty winds and very heavy rain. And as I mentioned, quite a bit of lightning. So that's what we have going on across our southeastern counties. That severe thunderstorm warning there. I'm going to zoom out some. And this is where, by the way, the bulk of the stronger storms have been in this corridor here, Gonzales down to Kennedy. In San Antonio, we are not dealing with severe weather, but we are getting the good downpours. And where you see some of those red colors, that's where the rain is at its heaviest. And we are seeing patches of that throughout the city. Nothing, again, right now that would indicate anything strong. In fact, we don't even really have that many lightning strikes. I will put the lightning counter on there, about 5 or so. So this is mainly just rain, and this is going to cause some issues on the roadways in the sense that you'll get some of those puddles building up. You may have to turn those windshield wipers on high, but this is hit or miss type stuff. Moves through pretty quickly, and then we'll get the rain out of here, I think, probably within the next couple of hours. We're going to continue to check in on radar. We'll have an update on that severe thunderstorm warning coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you very much. We have only one accident right now. The call came out around 9:03 this morning. I'm not seeing it on a TransGuide at the moment, but we know it's at eastbound Highway 90 at Loop 410. Looks like an entrance ramp and the shoulder are currently blocked. Again, Highway 90 at 410.
And in case you missed it this morning, a San Antonio family will be out of their home for a little while after a fire started in their apartment late last night. This happened around 11 on Starcrest on the northeast side. Now, firefighters say flames broke out in the kitchen of a first-story apartment. The fire spread into the ceiling. However, fire crews were able to stop it before it damaged an upstairs unit. No one was hurt.
We're also learning a little bit more about a wreck that killed 7 people in our area this past weekend. A young passenger appears to be the only survivor. She's being treated here in San Antonio. DPS says the head-on collision happened in Comal County near Buffalo Springs Crossing at FM 2722 Sunday night. Investigators say just after 6:15 that evening, a truck veered into oncoming traffic and hit an SUV. The adult driver and passenger in the truck were killed. The 3 adults and 2 juveniles in the SUV were also killed. The identities have not been released. Stay with us on air and online as we continue to try to update this story.
The La Vernia ISD School Board is considering moving to a 4-day school week. Last night, board members heard data collected from 2 focus group meetings on that topic. Overall, parents in the district are in favor of the move, but have questions regarding childcare and quality instructional time. Dr. Helen Wiesenhunt says the group looked at student data like attendance and substitute teacher trends in the district. Both showed upticks on Fridays, and most calendar options offered included Fridays off. However, it's not clear how the change could impact student academics.
The other districts in Texas at this moment that are practicing a 4-day instructional week do not have similar demographics to Lavernia ISD. Of all the ones currently doing it, there really isn't anybody that's completely comparable to us.
The district is working with the local YMCA to help with child care for working parents, along with transportation and meals. No decision has been made yet. Monday's meeting was to prepare the board for a vote in their upcoming February meeting. If the board gives the go-ahead, then they will begin working out logistics with calendars and staff.
Right now it's 9:37 and 50 degrees.
Watching GMSA at 9 now. We'll be right back.
Real quick, we were scheduling a Zoom call to talk with the American Heart Association about Heart Month, which is coming up next month. We're having technical difficulties, so we're going to try to reschedule that for tomorrow right here on GMSA at 9. Just want to let you know.
Yes, thank you. And our other morning headlines, the family of an Ohio college student who died of alcohol poisoning has reached what's being called a record settlement with the school.
That is after a hazing scandal paved the way for changes when it comes to Greek life. ABC's Andrea Fujii has more.
This morning, the family of a Bowling Green State University student who died after a fraternity hazing incident is speaking out after reaching a nearly $3 million settlement with the school.
Nothing's going to bring back Stone, and no amount of money.
20-year-old Stone Foltz died in March 2021 after attending a Pi Kappa Alpha initiation off campus. A university investigation found the fraternity had a tradition where new members drank or tried to drink an entire bottle of alcohol by themselves. His parents say Foltz finished his bottle of whiskey within 18 minutes. Foltz's fraternity brothers dropped him off at his apartment, where he was eventually found unconscious.
Did you give him 2 rescue breaths?
Yes.
Okay, are you starting the compressions again?
Yep.
Foltz was put on life support. He died 3 days later. 8 former frat members were found guilty on or pleaded guilty to charges ranging from reckless homicide to hazing to giving alcohol to a minor. Along with the settlement, the university and families saying they now have a joint mission, eradicating hazing in Ohio and across the nation. Leading these efforts in our communities is the real work that honors Stone.
As his dad, it makes me proud. Stone was an organ donor, and to hear how many lives that he was able to save and help in the hazing piece, and how many parents have reached out to us saying thank you for helping us. Stone's my hero.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
9:42, and our weather team has been busy all morning long, and there's an upside to that. We've desperately needed the rain.
We do, absolutely. It's been great to see, and it's been fairly steady, but we are starting to get some thunderstorms off to the east, which we thought we might. There's better conditions for some stronger storms as you get east to San Antonio. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that we need to continue to update you on. So let's get right to the radar. And that area that you see shaded in yellow down on the bottom part of your screen there, Yorktown over to Cuero, this is the part of the storm that we're watching that potentially is severe. And really the main threat here is going to be strong gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour. But the Weather Service is watching this closely for any sort of rotation. We haven't seen just a ton of that, but it looks like that may be a possibility. Where you see it kind of bow out a little bit, that's where we're concerned about the winds. So you see all the lightning strikes, a ton of them. We've seen that pick up. Where you see this pink color, that represents some very heavy rain and perhaps some small hail, although we have not had a ton of reports of that. So it's right there on the leading edge. This is our threat map, so it shows you what the threats are. And what I can do here is query this. And this is where it's showing the potential for some very strong winds along the leading edge of this as this moves towards the Cuero area and just north of Yorktown. There's Highway 72 there. So Lindenau, right there, that's where you would get some very strong winds if perhaps this holds together and continues to move east along Highway 87. That's just one of the threats. There could be some stronger winds and maybe some very small hail on the backside of this too. It has passed by Yoakum, by the way. West off, it's almost past you. We'll go back to radar and look at this once again. But it is this area right here where we're watching it closely, and there is a severe thunderstorm warning. There may have been a little bit of rotation mixed in there, but I didn't see much. We'll keep a close eye on that as this continues to move east at a pretty good clip. You can see it's moving fairly fast, but should be in Cuero here soon. So let me pause it again, and we can track this, this line as it moves off to the east. And we'll put a track. Oh, that's not what we want to do here. Let me try this one more time. We'll track it this way with this line moving about, we'll say 25, 30 miles per hour. So it would be in Cuero by about 10:05. So jives pretty close to what we were talking about earlier, somewhere around 9:55 to 10:05. I'd say you can expect that in Cuero with some of these very, very strong winds gusting, again, maybe to 60 miles per hour. And then there could be some small hail mixed in there too. As you go north of this, there's also some pretty high reflectivity showing up, and this will work its way east to there along just north of Cuero. I do need to zoom out here, and we're going to look at what's going on here in San Antonio. So that severe storm moving east and will be out of our viewing area here soon. But around the city of San Antonio, we are seeing these pockets of heavier rain setting up. Now, these are not severe storms. This is just good rain in most cases, but these pockets that you see here will produce some pretty good rainfall if you're indeed underneath one. And we're seeing several of them here around the city of San Antonio. And we can put the rainfall rates up and show you just how much rain they're putting down. So where you see some of these purple colors, that's where you get 5-6 inches per hour. And so that will cause some minor street flooding if you are indeed underneath one of these downpours. They just don't last very long. And so we're not expecting a ton of rain, and I don't anticipate a lot of flooding issues. For the most part, this is just welcome rainfall. We love to see it. And there has been a flood advisory issued just east of us, where we picked up some very heavy rain earlier, skiing down the Lavernia, where it was about 1 inch to 1.5 inches estimated there. So there could be some minor flooding skiing Stockdale, especially if you get a little more rain here coming up. And we'll look east there. That's that flood advisory. Right now, not a lot of rain there. Most of it's across the city of San Antonio. And I expect that this rain will continue for another hour or so. I want to show you a quick picture. This is out of San Antonio, I believe. There's some very small hail there. Now, it's really small. But we could see a little bit of that mixed in with some of these storms. And as we go outside for you, 50 degrees, dew point is at 49, gusty winds kicking in. I'm going to go through this pretty quick. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 52 noontime. We'll see skies begin to clear this afternoon, and we'll get those temperatures probably staying in the upper 50s. It's not going to warm up a whole lot, and then tonight it gets downright cold by tomorrow morning. Very quickly, here's the futurecast. Those storms push east. There's the clearing line. Probably takes until this afternoon to see a little bit of sun. And that risk for severe weather, we showed you that around Cuero, but it picks up even more along the Texas coast. So the extended forecast, 58 tomorrow, 57 Thursday. Notice Thursday morning down to 33. I think we could see a freeze around the area in several spots. Another chance of rain shows up this weekend by Saturday, guys.
Justin, thank you. Right now, 9:47, and we're at 50 degrees at San Antonio International Airport.
After the break, the Spurs were on the road against the Trailblazers. We're going to look at how they did and who they're playing next.
Real quick, I want to mention we've got a traffic alert. We're getting some reports of high water now at eastbound I-10 at Huebner on the northwest side. Well, today, a Senate committee takes up the issue of concert ticket sales after that debacle that plagued the rollout of Taylor Swift's upcoming tour. As ABC's Justin Finch explains, senators are looking into whether one company, Ticketmaster, has too much control of the industry.
The president of Ticketmaster's parent company will be in the hot seat on Capitol Hill today, facing questions about the company's meltdown in November.
And I waited in line for like 6 hours.
Taylor Swift fans were left heartbroken after an issue on Ticketmaster's website made it nearly impossible to get tickets for her tour. The Senate Judiciary Committee says today's hearing will examine Ticketmaster's apparent hold on the industry. It controls more than 70% of the market. In a statement, Ticketmaster's parent company says Live Nation takes its responsibilities under the antitrust laws seriously and does not engage in behaviors that would require it to alter fundamental business practices.
The monopoly issues have been going on for years and years and years and years. Pearl Jam took them before Congress, and Pearl Jam tried to do a tour without Ticketmaster, couldn't, gave up.
Ticketmaster blamed the Taylor Swift debacle on high demand, claiming the website saw more than 3.5 billion requests. But in a new report, Politico reports the president of Ticketmaster's parent company will tell the committee that Ticketmaster was hit by a cyber attack, which played a role in the slowdown. And he reportedly plans to reveal that Ticketmaster was hit with 3 times the amount of bot traffic that it typically sees. Still, experts say if you're expecting big changes in the industry, don't get your hopes up.
There's no one who even comes close to Ticketmaster's strength, its reach, its muscle, its ability to sell the volume of tickets that it has to. And nobody else can do that right now.
One of the witnesses expected at today's hearing is the CEO of SeatGeek, one of Ticketmaster's top competitors. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
And the San Antonio Spurs kicked off their 3-game West Coast road trip last night. It was late. It was one of those after 9 games. It was a good start. They were tied at halftime after that. All downhill. Somebody told them, just stay in the locker room. Don't come out for the second half, apparently. Because they didn't. Because they got outscored 45-27 in the third quarter. And then they got outscored 28-26 in the fourth quarter. And that led to a 147-127 Portland Trailblazer victory. So tonight, they get a little rest. And tomorrow night, it's the Lakers. And then it's back-to-back games. They get the Lakers tomorrow, and then they get the Clippers on, what's today? Tuesday? Tomorrow's Wednesday, so they get the Clippers on Thursday. So it's back-to-back things.
West Coast swing continues.
So they got to do something.
David, thank you very much. Right now, we want to take a look at TransGuide. And again, we just got a report of high water, I-10 and Huebner. Here's another spot where some folks are hitting some water, and we've got a vehicle on the side of the road there. We are also getting reports now of accidents coming in late here, well after the morning commute. We've got an accident working eastbound I-10 at La Cantera, disabled vehicle I-35 north at Huebner, and we've got another accident now coming in eastbound I-10 at New Braunfels Avenue. So we're not out of the woods yet. The rain has been patchy this morning and very, very heavy in some spots. But again, as we look live at 90 and 410, we've seen that area much worse in past years.
Yeah, that's close to Penn Road, a usual problem spot over there.
Thank you, guys. Now let's look at the radar one more time. We still have that severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 10:30 this morning. I'm going to get back to the radar here real quick as you're looking at the 7-day forecast. But that severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 10:30 this morning. That does include DeWitt County. And the heaviest of the storm there right along Highway 183. So Hoheim down to Concrete in the Quero area. That's where the very, very heavy rain is falling. And there's likely some winds around 60 miles per hour, not to mention some penny to quarter-size hail mixed in here from 87 up along 183 if you're watching us from the far southeastern portion of our viewing area. Yorktown down to Kennedy as well. You're going to see some of that heavy stuff. As far as San Antonio is concerned, we've got the patchy stuff. Nothing severe here, but it's patchy, heavy rain that continues to move through. Maybe light for a few minutes and then quickly pick up and then kind of lighten up again. But it's going to be off and on through the next couple of hours.
And I see the cell that probably created the problem at 10 and Huebner now moving towards Hollywood Park.
Yes, absolutely. And these are all racing off to the north.
All right, more updates throughout the day right here on KSAT.
Have a good day.